Famous flower on the Love Yourself hardcover is not just the beginning of trilogy, but it hints to an underlying symbol which the boys made more popular to their interpretation. The thread which connects the three albums is a small allusion to the embodiment of the self. At the beginning of the search, the self is the other, the one to which we're giving ourselves. As the songs progress, the self becomes the narrator, looking inward at their own perception of love, and in the end, the self becomes a concept, that something or someone which embodies love, and therefore becomes a bridge or a medium between someone and the relationships they create. The song has a lot of hints about the phases of the self mentioned above, and in this small series, we'll analyze how the symbol of the flower progressed to the trilogy and what new meanings it has at once with the changing of themes and exploration of the concept of love. We'll look at love from the perspective of a dynamic act, a journey similar to the one of individuation or becoming. A journey with an innate character which are not imposed to explore, but it is a part of you. This part is just an introduction, as later we will dive into each album separately. You Are Me, I Am You is another of the known lyrics of Serendipity, the first song in the first album, and it actually hints to the last embodiment of the self in this trilogy, therefore creating a circular narrative of these three albums. This type of narrative is used in order to create a loop that emphasizes themes like fate, life cycles, or character transformation, prompting reflection on the changes experienced, which is exactly what the other two albums will explore. Although this lyric seems to be a statement said with conviction, it hints to the theme of the second album, where the self is trying to define itself through the limitation of who is I and who are you. Yoongi has a similar verse in Interlude Shadow, where in the final verse, the lyrics can be interpreted both from the perspective of the self and of the shadow. This perspective could help us understand the second album and the trilogy better, as it also implies the connection and discovery of the shadow. We have mentioned before that the circular narrative hints to the life cycles, just like the themes in the three albums resemble a natural cycle of the flower, from birth to rest at night and rebirth in the morning. The song Serendipity emphasizes destiny and therefore the inevitable appearance of one's being on earth, which comes with exploration of love, which is naive at the beginning. Both in the song and in the poem, it is hinted towards an innate need for love. We all long to be something, you to me and I to you, long to become a gaze that won't be forgotten, it is said in the poem. In Serendipity, this aspiration is related to the phrase, let me love you, as the self identifies with the other and is willing to go beyond its own means in order to be loved, even if that means risking first. The themes of fate, sacrifice, otherness versus the self are also found in other songs of the album like DNA, Best of Me, and Outro Her. Especially in Outro Her, Yoongi mentions pairs of conflicting concepts, which overall create the wool, hinting again at the wool they are in a search for in these three albums. Next time we will look at the same themes in Love Yourself tier and explore the second phase of the cycle of the flower mentioned above.